Mm-hmm. Good day. Alfred Fig here. Let's talk about our unique American Christmas culture. Though some celebrated Christmas before the 1800s, it started to become increasingly popular in the 1820s. In fact, a lot of Christmas traditions that we still associate with the season today originated in, you guessed it, the 1820s. But before we get to that, let's talk about who Santa Claus even is. Santa Claus, or better known as Saint Nicholas, is a legend based off of the Greek bishop Nicholas of Myra. Nicholas, who was a real man, lived from the years 270 to 343 in modern-day Turkey during the time of the Roman Empire. Nicholas is the patron saint of children and was said to have performed miracles that involved bringing dead children back to life. During his lifetime, Nicholas was also known for giving gifts to children without wanting anything in return. He became a legendary figure long after his death. With time, a day was even named after him. This day is called Saint Nicholas Day and began sometime in 13th century France and Belgium. The custom later spread to Germany and elsewhere in Europe, where it quickly became popular. Christmas was already well established in Europe by the year 1800. There is an old myth that Queen Victoria was the first royal to embrace Christmas. However, decades earlier in the December of 1800, Queen Charlotte of England put up a Christmas tree in the Queen's Lodge. The tree was decorated with toys and candy for any visiting children. Now, Santa Claus at this time looked quite different from the Santa that we Americans are used to. German, Dutch, and French immigrants brought with them their Christian faith, including their beliefs around St. Nicholas. Before the 1800s, St. Nick was shown in illustrations as being a Christian saint, but then something interesting happened. He got his magic. Well, what do I mean? In 1821, an illustrated poem was anonymously published in New York titled, "Old Santa Claus with Much Delight." It was the first publication to mention a Santa as a man who rides with reindeer in a sleigh. It was also the first to describe Santa as arriving on December 24th, or Christmas Eve. In traditional German and French folklore, Santa gives children gifts on December 6th. December 6th is the feast day of Saint Nicholas in the Catholic faith. The poem also describes, for the first time, Santa putting toys in stockings, whereas before the European tradition was to put toys in a child's boots. 2 years later, the poem, A Visit from Saint Nicholas, was again published in New York. This poem is the single most important piece of American Christmas literature ever published. It unified Americans of different cultural backgrounds in a new Christmas tradition that was uniquely American. In the poem, Santa's sleigh is pulled by 8 reindeer who fly from roof to roof. Santa goes down a house's chimney while carrying a big sack of toys. He stuffed stockings hanging by the fireplace with toys before flying up the chimney again and calling out, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." This was the first time that anything like this had ever been recorded. It was also the first poem to describe Santa Claus as being the happy, old, red-faced, plump man whose belly shakes when he laughs. The poem also finally gives names to the reindeer. These names are the same to this day, all except for Rudolph. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was first published as a book for the Chicago Montgomery Ward department store in 1939, making him the last reindeer to get his famous name. So when did Santa move from New York up to the North Pole? In the 1860s, American cartoonist Thomas Nast submitted 33 drawings to Harper's Weekly magazine, some of whom showed Santa as living in the North Pole. This was the first time in history that anyone had described Santa as living in the North Pole, a place which, at the time, was unexplored and mysterious. While every nation celebrates Christmas in a different way, here in the States we celebrate gift-giving on December 25th, after Santa delivers presents with his sleigh on the night of the 24th. Presents are stuffed into stockings and beneath the Christmas tree. Santa travels up and down chimneys delivering joy on Christmas Eve. Now, a little later in the 1930s, the Coca-Cola Company created dozens of Christmas advertisements showing Santa in a red velvet cloak, with friendly eyes and a big belly laughing and looking jolly. This image has stuck with us to this day as being the Santa Claus that Americans know and love. But still, there are many different versions of Santa around the world. Let's not forget St. Nicholas, the Christian bishop who inspired it all. Now, we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.